Hello there, welcome to our little nursery setup. We've got the bed moved around slightly, and then we've got the baby's cots there and their chest of drawers here with some shelves and bits as well. If you're new around here, then welcome. I am Emily and I am pregnant with 2 little babies, which is very exciting, and it's actually not too much longer until they arrive, so this video has been a long time coming. I'm going to talk about my experience of being pregnant for the first 3 months with twins. I'm not a good advert, let's put it that way, for selling pregnancy, especially those first few months, first trimester and beyond. I thought I'd be one of these women who just glide through pregnancy without any issues, a bit of feeling sick but generally fine, which wasn't my experience. But yeah, we'll get into that. So only carry on watching if that is something that you think will be helpful for you. It does end. The bad stuff does end. Sorry about the glare on my glasses. It's getting slightly later in the day, so we've got various lights on. Okay, so I've written some stuff on my blog as well to go alongside this video, so if you're somebody who prefers to read, then head over there, but if not, then keep on watching. So I am 30 weeks pregnant now with twins, and as I've said, the hard times do come to an end. Obviously the second and third trimesters come with their own challenges, but for me, in my experience, the first trimester was really hard. We found out we were pregnant at the end of July. For the first couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I was fine, and then it hit me, and it hit me pretty hard. And really, we should have known that there were 2 babies from the get-go, because I was very poorly very quickly and started growing big very quickly. So yeah, I'm gonna look at my phone because I've got it all, got notes noted down. This is my experience. It's not the same for everybody. It wasn't the best time of my life, if I'm honest. It felt like the days were just never gonna end. The time was never gonna end, and people would say to me, oh, that's gone really quickly. I certainly didn't feel that way. I woke up feeling sick and went to bed feeling sick, and it was just horrible knowing that I would feel the same in the morning. Day in, day out. It wasn't morning sickness, it was all day sickness. But yeah, let's get into it. So we went away when we first found out. We went on a church festival camping trip, and we didn't tell anybody initially that we were pregnant, so that was really nice to keep that to ourselves, and then we shared with friends just as we were leaving. It was week 5 that the nausea hit me. I wasn't sick initially, but I felt very, very nauseous before I was pregnant, and probably still partly now, although I'm definitely more used to it. I had a real phobia of being sick, seeing people be sick. Like, even if James was feeling sick, I would keep my distance. So those episodes of sickness where I wasn't actually sick really worked me up, and I got very panicked and emotional, and really I just needed to be sick and try and get over it. I felt waves of nausea as soon as I woke up in the morning, and initially I didn't really know how to help myself. I wasn't hungry. Now I know, and I guess I did know at the time, but I just couldn't face eating. I just felt so sick, and nothing would help me. I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to drink. I would just stay in bed and be sad. This was still in the summer holidays, so I was off work. But yeah, those days were really hard. I could stomach cold cucumber, peppermint oil on a hanky. Everything smelt bad. Everything. Other than being in the bedroom. That Shep, the dog, I couldn't go near the dog. The kitchen, the pantry. We had this bath bomb which was around, which had to just get outside. A pluggy in smelly thing, that had to go. And James turned the oven on. I had to come upstairs because I could not bear the smell of the oven. And then when I did go back to work, I used to dread coming home because I knew that as soon as I get home I'd hate the smell of my own home, which was not nice. I told work that I was pregnant, but I continued to work, but every day I'd wake up, feel sick, be sick more than once, get to work, continue to feel sick, eat, drink. Sometimes I was sick at work. Generally through the middle of the day it got a bit better, but it was still underlying. and then I'd get home, and then in the evenings it would worsen again, and I'd just feel just as bad, and I'd just have to go to bed. But it was all the time, not morning sickness, all day sickness, not fun. And people that have this through their whole pregnancy and they physically can't eat or drink, I don't know how you do it. My hat goes off to you, because it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was really hard, and it felt like it would never end. So if that's you, you're not alone. It does end and it gets better. But in the moment, it was really hard, really hard. I had my first midwife appointment. That was really good to chat to somebody. It felt like I'd been feeling so horrible for so long, and it was nice to talk to someone about that. Had to do my first urine sample. That was dramatic. Not traumatic, that's an exaggeration. But they give you the tiniest little test tubes. Why? You can't aim into that. I found a toilet, but it was quite exposed. There was no shut door. It was one with like empty, like a hole at the top and the bottom. I did my little sample. Wee just everywhere. Not everywhere, just, you know, get used to weeing on your hands. There's no way around it. Unless you wee in a bigger pot and then pour it in, which, you know, couldn't do there because I only had this tiny little test tube. But yeah, that happened. And then there was no toilet roll. And then there was no soap near the sink. So I had to use hand gel, which I just found in the corridor, go back to the sink, wash my hands with hand gel, and then put more hand gel on afterwards. So, you know, that was fun, but fine. Did that, spoke to my midwife, all was fine. That was at 9 weeks. Yeah, 9 weeks. So I was still very much in the middle of the mess of nausea. I was sad and miserable, emotional, because I just felt so down, because I couldn't do the things that I'd normally do because my body just wouldn't let me. James was there to support me all the way through. Every time I was on the bathroom floor, he was always there helping. But yes, 9 weeks and I was still feeling rough. We gradually told friends and family through this time, closer to the 12-week scan, and there is a video that I've uploaded which shares those moments, and it's really special, and every time I watch it I cry because it's hilarious and emotional. Obviously, all through this time we just thought there was one baby. Really, we should have known that there were two. James definitely was already in the mindset that there were two. I was more like, we'll worry about that when it happens. Hilarious. So yeah, one baby, that's what we thought. And then we had our 12-week scan. I was still feeling sick. So the 12-week scan was a nice thing to look forward to, and hitting that 12 weeks was a massive milestone. I was under no illusion that I wouldn't hit 12 weeks and then be miraculously healed, but it was that step closer to getting back to a bit more normality. So our 12-week scan, I remember going in and saying to James, what do you think? 1 or 2? I left my mum. I think I dropped something off to her before and left her and said, what do you think? 1 or 2? And we were all like, 1. There'll just be 1. There won't be 2. And then we got into the scan room and we had the same lady. No, this was the first time we saw her. She was lovely, really lovely. Jumped on the bed, got the scanner thing. I was surprised because the gel that they use, they have in a little heater. So it was nice and warm, which was nice. As soon as she put the scanner on my tummy, there were 2 babies there. It wasn't a miraculous, like, she had to be like, oh, by the way, this is a twin pregnancy. We all knew. And we all, I don't even know what noise they made. They were just there. She put it on and they were there looking at us. I mean, just swimming around, having a great time. And it was hilarious. It was overwhelming. It was all emotions at once. I sobbed, of course. I think I would have sobbed either way, but doubly sobbed. And my brain was just trying to rationalise what was happening to me, us. And I remember her going through all the anatomy of both babies, and James being like, Emily, look at the screen, look what's happening. But I was, and I was looking, but I was just like, I just kept thinking, 2 babies, 2 babies, 2 babies. She showed us that they were non-identical, so the membrane like was between them, like they weren't in the same sac, and the membrane that between them was quite thick, which showed that they were non-identical, and that I have 2 placentas. So it's two pregnancies in one, basically, which is just insane. So we were told it was a higher risk pregnancy because obviously they were twins. A lower risk twin pregnancy. They're more risky if they share a placenta, if they're identical. But they don't. They're just happy in their own little sacks, swimming around, having a great time. I was not still at this point having a great time. Hello, we're back. The camera died. I was just saying how, yeah, the 12-week scan was lovely. More than lovely, it was amazing, and it was really good to know that they were safe, they were well, all their anatomy was growing as it should be. So after we had the scan done, we then had to go and get bloods done, which was fine. We were just giddy and like overwhelmed as we made our way there and sat down like in the queue waiting to have bloods done, and we were looking at our pictures of our 2 babies. It was just funny to see how James and I both process things really differently. So I was just like blah 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 blah, like what about this, what about this, what about this, what about this? Not, you know, we were excited, obviously. It definitely hadn't sunk in at that point, so it was just like word vomit, and James was just quietly, calmly just taking it all in and just listening to me babble away. We then told family and friends, close friends, that it was 2, and everyone was just so excited, and it was just hilarious. Then we shared that night on social media and just told the world. Actually no, it wasn't that night, because I had to embroider another jumper for my announcement that I had planned. So I spent the next 2 days writing Hello Pumpkin on the back of a nice jumper, and I had bought 2 just in case. It was that possible that I bought 2 just in case. So I spent the next 2 days doing that, and then I think on the Friday or the Saturday we then shared it online, and that was lovely just to share with the world. So we found out there were 2 babies. Moving on. I continued to feel nauseous over the next few weeks, but stopped being sick every day. So it slowly, actual being sick slowly got better. When I was sick, I was really sad because I was like, no, I thought we'd got past this. Though I felt sick still, I wasn't being sick as often, but then that made it really sad when I was sick. So I was like, no, I thought we'd conquered this part. I started to feel more uncomfortable as my tummy grew. People started to spot me getting bigger. I had to eat smaller portion sizes, and I still need to do that now just because you get so full so quickly. It's little and often food all the time. And yeah, my tummy just continued to grow, and people started to spot. Very burpy as well from the beginning, just lots of air, lots of gas. Very burpy. I had sickness medication. I tried 3 different types. The first 2 I tried separately, but then I was told I could take them together. It still didn't really make a difference. Then I was put on something else. That did start to work. Really hard to know if that was the medication or just because I was a little bit further down the line. Even then, although it took the edge off, it wasn't like a miraculous healer. But I was pleased to have something that could help a little bit. This was, by the way, week 17 now. So beyond 12 weeks, 17, 18 weeks, that's kind of where we were at. Things that helped: peppermint oil on a hanky, ice cold water, sometimes Werther's Originals. I didn't really fancy them, but whenever I had them it took away the sickness. Fresh fruit when I fancied it. Pork pies, that sounds rank, but I just really like them at snack time. Custard creams, if these babies don't come out loving custard creams. Orange juice, satsumas. Tomato soup, I wasn't really a fan of before I was pregnant, but then I ate loads of it and now I've kind of gone off it again because you just go through waves of it. All of these have kind of worked for a bit and then they were too much and then they didn't work again. That's basically where we're at with that first chunk of time. It was really hard. I won't pretend it was easy. It was really hard, and I was so grateful to have lots of people around me looking after me. It's not everyone's experience. There are 2 babies in me, so I think perhaps it was worse because I had double everything that was going around my body. But yeah, So I might come back and share some other clips that we've got. Oh, actually I'm going to end on a little clip of us listening to the heartbeat very early on, after we found out there were 2 babies. So enjoy that little clip, and yeah, I'll be back with some more bits and pieces, hopefully before they arrive, which, you know, could be soon, sooner than we think. But yeah, cool. Thank you for watching. I hope this is helpful for you, and I'll catch up soon. Bye. Is not okay. Off to the 16-week midwife appointment. They told me twin 2 was over here and twin 1 was over there last time.
Yeah, so they're so tiny at this stage, so that they can